welcome to the NFT Jungle. I am Emma, aka NiftyMetaGirl, and today we have another team member joining us. This is Emma, aka Emofarmer.
Yep, Emofarmer, that's me.
And so, Emma, you've been on the MetaJungle team for a couple weeks now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And do you want to tell us about what you've been working on?
I've been really excited to get to work with the MetaJungle team. I've mostly been doing helping with social media. I've kind of taken over managing the Instagram, and we're trying to get started on TikTok as well. So I'm kind of in charge of those two things. So if you are interacting with someone on Instagram, it's probably me. I've just kind of been helping to fill in the gaps and help with producing content and brainstorming and all the good things that a team does. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. We're growing and bringing new things up. So it's great to have you on the team. And you have a background in Instagram.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And so definitely appreciate you sharing our artist spotlights, introducing the team, and then sharing a lot of wallet updates and relevant MetaJungle information. So
yeah, it's really fun. I really enjoy it. So
well, and we also have so many photographers in the MetaJungle community, and so Instagram is such a great way to connect with them as well.
Totally agree. Yeah.
So if you guys aren't following MetaJungle on Instagram, please do, along with Twitter and of course Discord as well.
Yep. We're trying to expand the horizons.
That's right. It's moving fast.
Yep.
Well, in mentioning MetaJungle, we've had a lot going on. The community is growing more and more every day, so it's awesome to have everybody showing up in Discord, chatting, doing GM, sharing artwork. The community itself is really relaxed in that regard. It ends up being a space that we end up talking about photography and artwork a lot. We have channels set up for those of you that haven't visited. We have channels set up where you can share your artwork and tell us a little bit about you. And then we also have other channels set up to be able to chat and learn. This week we also added a marketing channel so we can share some ideas on questions we may have, also techniques that might be working or information that we're learning. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. Today we had a great workshop by Mustafa Eton, who is a very active MetaJungle member and very talented astrophotographer himself. This was our second in this workshop series, and he was providing information today on planning and also settings for your camera. This was a great workshop.
Yeah, I loved it. It makes me really want to get into this astrophotography. He makes it sound so exciting and amazing and accessible, the way he explains it all. I really have been enjoying these workshops.
I completely agree. And so if you missed it today, but you want to watch it, we will have it filmed and shared in the Discord here within the next day or two. Also, there's several different websites that were shared within the class to help you with planning for weather and different things that you need to be aware of ahead of time. So those are also noted in the announcements channel. So if you'd like to go back to those, we'll also have them included with the video. Tomorrow we have our 5th Artist Feedback AMA session.
Yep.
This is going to be hosted again by Mike Schmidt and Dan Hawk, also both very active MetaJungle members and very active in the photography community. And this has been something that's been wildly successful and also pretty popular with artists, but this is an opportunity to be able to submit your collection, to be able to be reviewed and get honest feedback, whether it be on the content of your collection in regards to what's written there, which we always like to remind everybody, please make sure you're putting your name, your edition size, collection size, stories about your collection in with your posts on OpenSea, because this is very, very important and will continue to be more and more important as the space is moving forward. That is always the number one recommendation that we make. So check your collections. If you need to add that, please do, because an important detail that we've been trying to share with artists is when a piece is purchased, the description for that piece is actually locked into that for that point forward. So,
oh, interesting.
Yes. So if you think about it, if you're selling work and you don't have your name on it, or that it's a one-of-one piece, or even details that you might want to include and share with that piece, if you don't have it on there and it sells, you never have the chance to go back and add it.
Man, yeah, that's crazy.
And so I know, Emma, you actually had submitted work in the
did.
beginning and in one of the earlier AMAs,
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah, I did. It was really, really cool. I mean, what other opportunity would you ever have to get feedback directly from, a world-renowned photographer? I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I'm just some girl that works on a farm, takes pictures of cows, and, this amazing photographer took the time to look at them and actually give me advice. It was just amazing. So it's such a cool opportunity for up-and-coming artists, and if you haven't submitted work to that yet, I think you definitely should. It's really, really awesome.
It is a great time for artists to be able to get that feedback and connect with other artists. And the space right now, you make a great point because we're so early on. There are so many people that might be starting off in their photography journey, but we also have so many artists coming into the NFT space that it's almost like they're starting over again too. They may have decades of experience and strong followings, but the NFT space is a whole new world. So we're learning new social media, whether it be if they haven't been that active on Twitter before, Discord for sure, how to build community, how to market yourself, different platforms to utilize. So MetaJungle is really a hub to be able to bounce those ideas off each other, learn those things, see what's working for some people, what's not working for people. And so often the space is moving so fast, you're in it, and then you go, oh gosh, I don't know the next step, or wow, I didn't realize this would be the next step. So this is a great community where you can share that information.
Yeah, it's so true because you could be like the world's best photographer or the world's best digital artist, but this NFT space is completely new and different than anything that you may be used to before. And so learning how to be successful in this space with your artwork, it's totally different. And so, I think it's a really, really cool thing that MetaJungle does.
Well, and also as a collector, I'm not an artist, but as a collector, I have found these AMA series to be so helpful as well because, one, you're getting to learn about artists that are new to this space, again, whether they may be new to photography or they may just be new to the NFT space. So you're meeting and learning about artists at every step in the journey, but also you're learning what's important in a collection. So, and what's important in collecting NFTs, because we're new to this as well, because there may be things that in real life are different than in the NFT space. And so being able to have this opportunity to learn, what's relevant in a collection, and also getting kind of some curating advice on a collection. So you're seeing what makes sense in a collection and even some composition. So what is something to look for as far as the balance with a photo itself, different elements there. So lots and lots of awesome information. So also if you're not, these are great for people that are not just artists. That's great for everybody.
Totally agree. Yeah.
And so we do film this session as well. That's held within MetaJungle Discord, but you can also visit Discord for links to watch previous episodes. Also, we have them available on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
And we are working also on adding more workshops to what we have available. So we have some exciting ones coming up. But if you are an artist that would like to also provide information in a workshop session, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to work with getting that set up for our community. And we have some other exciting ones coming up. We will go ahead and mention we do have another astrophotography class with Mustafa Eton scheduled for next Thursday. It'll be at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, and again in the MetaJungle Discord. So we are looking forward to that. And with the AMAs, that's something we typically hold every week. So we'll have that announced in the Discord as well.
Very cool. Can't wait.
So lots of things happening, lots of good information available. And so also, if you haven't been in the Discord for a while, please jump in. And also, if you're watching this and you are like, I just don't know about Discord. Like, I am just catching on with Twitter right now. I don't know about this Discord thing.
Join the club.
Yes, exactly. Please visit our YouTube channel, which you can find it at metajunglevideos.io. And we have a video with how the steps to actually set up your Discord account and come into the community. We'll also link that video in the comments below, so check it out. And so that kind of also, we're starting to get started more with with Twitter Spaces as well. Alpha Trilogy and I joined one earlier this week, and we'll be planning to join one on Monday as well. So we appreciate the communities that have invited us to share information, and we'll look forward to also doing more of those for the MetaJungle community, because that's something that we have been getting requests from the community for. So we'll look forward to meeting with our community in all different forms.
Totally. Yep.
We love getting to know you guys and your artwork, and doing the most we can to connect collectors with artists.
Yep.
Well, and so a part of our show that we always do is our wallet update. And I think something that we don't mention very often, or don't mention enough, is this is a segment that a lot of other shows, they might be presenting projects or artwork that they are getting paid or influenced to share with their community. And that's much the opposite of what we do.
Yeah.
All of the projects and the artists that we talk about through our wallet update are ones that we actually research ourselves, and we are spending our own money on and our own collection. And so I appreciate the opportunity actually to get to have the opportunity to talk about the people, the artists that I might be collecting or the projects that I'm collecting, but it's also an opportunity to get to learn from each other and know what's relevant and what's happening. And so just to let you guys know, this is kind of a free space. If you hear us talking about something, no one is telling us to talk about it.
No.
We just choose to, and we're passionate about the space. So.
Absolutely. Yep.
So Emma, I know this will be your first wallet update to be involved in. And so what do you like to collect? What have you been collecting? What pieces would you like to share with us?
So most of what my wallet consists of right now is generative art projects, and I do love generative art projects. I really do. And there's a few that I definitely want to talk about today that I love. But I'm very interested in like all forms of digital art. Like I really want to start collecting more one-of-one digital art pieces. I have like multiple artists that I have my eye on that I am like ready to buy one whenever they release it. So I'm really excited about that. And I do like photography too. I only have one photograph in my collection, but I kind of gravitate more towards women-led projects. And as far as digital art goes, I love like bright colors, and I do like the PFP stuff. That's kind of a lot of what I have. But yeah, just kind of like the bright psychedelic type colors is kind of what I'm drawn to. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that your progression is not unusual whatsoever. A lot of collectors come into the space and are attracted to the generative art projects, and that's kind of how we get started. Alpha Trilogy actually had mentioned that in the last episode as kind of a networking opportunity, that oftentimes that is the case. So for artists, if you're involving yourself with these generative projects, that is maybe an opportunity for you on the networking side to be able to tie in and be able to connect with a whole group of collectors.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
And so it sounds like that's kind of the progression you're going on as well.
Yeah. So, and I think it's a lot of it is because the gen art projects, that a lot of times when you're minting them, they're a little cheaper to get into than, say, some of the, one-of-one digital arts. That's kind of what it's been like for me. But then getting into the space more and, like, seeing all these different projects and all these different artists, like, you kind of learn, like, what you like, and you learn these artists that you want to follow, and you have, like, their notifications turned on so that every time they drop a piece, you're, like, ready. So that's kind of the where I'm at right now,
Definitely catching the bug.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so what is your most recent purchase?
So my most recent purchase was actually this morning.
Okay.
I had just woken up, was drinking my coffee, and I had heard you and Jaden talking about Rebel Society. And so I've been following their project for a little while, and I kept meaning to mint one. It kept slipping my mind. Yeah, I just kept slipping my mind, and I'm like, I gotta mint that when the gas gets low again, because I love the art style and I love the initiative behind the project. They say that they're gonna part of the funds that they collect from the sales will go towards sponsoring upcoming female artists who can't really afford to launch their own collection. And if you hold a Rebel Society girl, you get to help pick the sponsored artists in the future. So I just thought that was a really cool initiative that I can definitely get behind. So anyways, this morning I was drinking my coffee and I was like, oh yeah, let's mint the Realm Society girl. So I went ahead and did it. And then literally like an hour later, they were like sold out. Like it was just like all of a sudden they like...
Which is just wild.
Yeah, so crazy. I was like, what are the chances I like just happened to do this? And I had no idea they were like, you know, on the up and up. And yeah, it was just so funny. But yeah, I love my girl that I got. I think that she's like decently rare. I don't know. I need to look it up. But I really love her. She has like cosmic tattoos on her skin, like white colored ones, and I think that's really cool. And I like her mascara tube that she's holding because I'm a total like makeup nerd. So yeah, I think she's cool. I really like her a lot.
It's always fun minting a project, and whenever it reveals or you get it and you know which one you got, and just seeing the traits that you relate to.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one of my favorite things about it.
Me too. It's super exciting. So yeah, so I got her, and then a few days ago I got my first NFT photography piece, which I was super excited about. It was from the Hundo Cubanos collection, I think is how you say it. And the photographer was McQuid, Bedford. Mm-hmm. And so he took these pictures when he in 2015 when he was in the country of Cuba, and Cuba was like on the brink of historical transition at that time. So he stayed there for a while, and he established relationships with the kind of working class locals there, and he got some incredible photos. And I know that you got some from that collection too. Yeah.
Yes.
So so yeah, I love mine that I got. I don't know, I was just scrolling through the collection, and like she just like stood out to me. Like I love the colors, and I love like I don't know, I just kind of pictured that she's listening to the shells, and the ocean is like telling her of like greater times ahead. That's just kind of like how it spoke to me, and I just love that. So yeah, I'm really excited that I got her as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, that's a collection that did just take off.
Yeah.
100 pieces in the collection, and within I think a 24-hour period, maybe 36-hour period, like 70 is sold.
Yeah.
So to the point where there was a few pieces that had already sold in the collection, but within 36 hours, he had like 13 left.
Yeah.
So it just went crazy. A cool thing, too, is with the purchase of your piece, you also get an autographed copy of all 100 photos in a book. So that's really cool as an accompaniment piece. So it'll be great to receive those. I know we've been in touch with Evan, and he's going to be mailing them. So
yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. That's going to be really cool.
And I'll share my pieces when I do my update, too.
Okay, so. Sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, those are the most recent ones that I've purchased. One that I got a couple weeks ago was I got what is my current PFP now. So I've always had a Sad Girl as my PFP because I love Sad Girls Bar. They're like my favorite project. But the one that I had, it was actually a gift from my husband, which I love dearly. But it just didn't really like she just didn't really fit me, So I was like bound and determined to get one that I like loved,
connected with.
Yeah, connected with. So I really liked the fringe hairstyle. That was kind of like my number one trait that I wanted because I have like the short bangs too, And then when I saw this one and she's holding a snake, I have a pet snake. So I was like, I have to have this one. So so she's my PFP now. But it was kind of crazy because I also wanted to get a skeleton because I didn't have one yet, and the cat mint was happening soon, and I knew something about like a super NFT, like you had to have both the skeleton and the sad girl to get like this super NFT with your cat and stuff. So anyways, I was like, I gotta get a skeleton. So I found a skeleton that I really liked, and I bought him. And I don't know, I just loved his aviators and his hair and I just thought he was cool. But it was kind of funny because when I posted about my current PFP about purchasing her, the person that had the matching skeleton reached out to me and was like, hey, I have the matching skeleton. Do you want me to send it to you? And I was like, I actually messaged Alpha Trilogy because I was like, do you think this is a scam? Because I'm still kind of like new to this space. Like, I don't know.
Smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
I'm like, is this guy just literally just being nice? Like, he's literally going to pay the gas to send me this for free? And he's like, yeah, it seems legit to me. And I was like, okay. So I was like, sure. And so anyways, I have her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have her matching skeleton too. So that was pretty exciting. And that was just like a really cool experience for me because it just goes to show like this space, for the most part, people are so nice and like they want to help you. And that's so different than what we're used to in the world that we live in, you know? So it kind of catches you off guard sometimes, but like that's what I really love about this space, you know? And then I also minted 2 of the sad cats. So I have 2 sad girls, 2 skeletons, 2 sad cats, and I just love them all so much. They're my favorite items that I have in my wallet, so yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and that is a project that is starting to catch more traction as far as floor price, but seems to also have a very loyal following.
Yeah.
Definitely one you see a lot of PFPs as you're scrolling through Twitter, and Glam Beckett's art is awesome.
Yeah, I just love her, and I really hope to own one of ones at some point too. I just think she's an amazing artist. So
well,
yeah.
and for it to be a monochromatic collection, it's amazing the different details and personality that shine through. So it is a really fun one.
It's really cool. Yeah, and then I would say my next favorite item that I have in my wallet would have to be my Alpha Girl. She was one of the first things that I had ever like minted myself. So that was kind of like an exciting thing, you know? And I love kind of the story behind the Alpha Girls. They're supposed to it's supposed to be like every alpha is born special, but they grow up not really knowing how special they really are. Like they don't really know that they're an alpha. And they all struggle with their own like emotional barrier, like depression, anxiety, trauma, which I really like that because I've had my own struggles with mental health. And so that really spoke to me and I really liked that a lot. Not to mention I love the art. Like I really do love it. Kind of that anime style art is really cool. So
and usually bright colors.
Yeah, like the bright colors, like what I usually like. And I was ecstatic about the girl that I got.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, like, I don't know. She's like pretty simple compared to a lot of them. But I really like that. And I like the contrast of the red with the white hair. And I don't know. I just think she's really cool. So I love her too.
Well, and if I remember right, she's pretty rare.
Yeah, she is pretty rare. I can't remember like what level she is. I think she's in the hundreds, right? Yeah,
I think
I don't know.
Yeah, I think she is a top 200, if not top 100, which is pretty awesome.
Which is really cool. I mean, I minted her, you know. So, but that's kind of exciting because as of today, they sold out. Like they sold out, like no longer minting. So that was really exciting for them. And another couple things that I love about them is they have a mental health app like in the works. That's going to be backed by like, you know, mental health professionals and all that. So that's going to be really, really cool, like a really cool resource. And then they're also just like really big on like experiences, like in real life experiences. Like I don't know, they have it on their Discord. They're like, have you seen that? Where they might be like holding like actual experiences in real life where you can like fly somewhere and they can like teach you like cooking classes, but then they also hold experiences on Discord where you can like do it over Discord.
I love that.
Yeah,
I missed out because they did one where they did a cooking class and they listed the ingredient list and then also had the time where you could all get together and make a dish together, which was really, really fun. I look forward to the next one. But I do believe that there is a trip to Japan in the works and different elements. Yes, I think that was maybe contest related, if I remember correctly. I need to catch up on that, but yes. But those, bringing people together and, being able to, they're huge on building community within this group. So happy really to see them sell out.
Yes,
so there's,
me too.
Yes.
Super, super cool. But yeah, I would say those are some of my favorite things that I have in my wallet right now. So.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. Well, and I know we'll continue to see your wallet grow.
Yes, hopefully. I I have my eye on. I will just kind of mention like a few of the projects I have my eye on. Some of the artists, like one-of-one artists. I really want to get something from Marlene from her collection coming up next month.
From Studio Arita.
Yes, I love her stuff.
Yes, me too.
And then, of course, Hannah. Like, I'm so jealous of your guys' Hannah's. I just love them. So I really want to get in on that as well. And Tiffatron. I love her. I found her, kind of all these artists are kind of like, they kind of talk to each other and like they're really supportive of each other. So that's kind of how I found all these girls, is through just like them supporting each other, which is really cool. And they all have kind of similar like that psychedelic, bright colored art style. So Tiffatron, I really want to get a one-of-one from. Hers go really fast, so I'm going to have to be like on it, you know. And then another one is Stardust Society. The artist is Coco, I think, and so
Jaden just bought one.
Yes,
this week.
I know.
Stella.
I saw hers. She's so pretty.
I was
love
jealous.
her.
I saw her and I slept on it, and Jaden got her. I'm so happy she did because she's beautiful.
Yeah, and she fits Jaden really well.
She
I feel like
I completely agree.
I'm kind of like waiting for that one that like just really like vibes with me, you know. But
Yes.
I love her artwork. I love the colors and everything. So yeah, those are a few of the ones that I'm looking forward to. So we might see some new additions in my wallet soon.
Very good. Very good. Well, and I think, you know, for me, each of those artists also, you kind of go in the progression. So where you get involved with a generative project, and then you also have the opportunity to learn about one-of-one artists. And for me, being involved with Women in Weapons, World of Women is very active too, but Women in Weapons with their patron wallet, that's something that they kicked off right after they minted, and they have been so good about doing that and supporting one-of-one artists. That's where I've actually met several of the artists that I collect now. Hannah Chu is one of those.
Okay, cool.
And so I do think, you know, with generative projects, like we mentioned, that is something that allows a lot of people to then get started with one-of-one artists.
Yeah, totally.
And that's something that I know for me. And I think maybe coming into a generative project, you kind of feel like you have more of a community. And plus, you mentioned, I know that a lot of times it's a little less expensive. And so I think that kind of feels like maybe less risky or just, you know, a little bit safer. And then quickly we are able to learn about other one-of-one artists. And I know for me, being involved with Women in Weapons, that's a project that just after they finished minting, they jumped right into supporting their patron wallet, which they use part of their profits to purchase artwork from different one-of-one artists, which I think is an awesome initiative and one of the reasons that I love the project and the work that they do. But following that patron wallet is how I actually started getting into the one-of-one arts. And so to start my wallet update, one of the pieces that I bought, which through December, I don't know why, I did not buy much to with my wallet at all. I don't know what was going on, but I have to say in the last week that has...
You made up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there was just some projects that came up and artists that dropped work that I was just like, oh my, this is it. And Toppy Eton is one of those one-of-one artists that I've been following. Her piece entitled Autumn was an early collected work for the patron wallet with Women in Weapons, and it's just so beautiful. Her work is typically all female portraits, but they just have typically a very kind of historic feel to them, but they're one-of-one digital art pieces, and the way that it works is right now there's 35 pieces in her self-titled collection, and she will drop them on Twitter, so she'll just put the picture and the link, and within typically 2 hours they are sold.
Yeah.
So Toppy, I've been stalking you for just a little while in a very not creepy way.
Right.
But been watching and waiting for the opportunity. And so this time I actually did get one, and I love it. It's called Go Alone. And it is one of the first that has kind of a fantasy feel to it because she has elf ears, and it just has a really beautiful, a very beautiful feel to it. So I love it. And the crazy thing about the collection, too, is I purchased the piece for 3.5, and the collection already has a 4 ETH floor. And so she has a really strong collector base. That's something over the time of watching her, I kind of started to learn about the different collectors that were buying her work and stuff. And so I'm really excited for this one. She dropped another one last night that is a mermaid-based one that was beautiful.
What? I haven't seen that one yet.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, man.
And she has an avid collector who he snags those up so fast. So,
yeah.
But I'm happy with Go Alone, and I look forward to hopefully adding another one down the road.
Yeah, I love her. I love like the dreamy fantasy vibes. It's really, really cool.
Almost like Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I love it.
And so I'm really happy to have that one. This last week too, things have been moving as far as with different prices with different projects. So I've also been thinking a little bit more. Typically, I don't sell much out of my wallet at all. I'm one that kind of collects and collects. But I have a piece that I put up for sale with Brain Vomit, with the project Brain Vomit. They're doing a special thing for the community for holders that you have the opportunity or the chance to win a one-of-one from the artist. And I was actually one of the lucky recipients. I received the 14th one that he actually airdropped. So then he mentioned that he has the opportunity to... when he's going to be doing something with all of these, there's going to be 444 of them. When they all get dropped to the recipients, they're going to have the opportunity to burn it for a one-of-one real-life piece. But this was, I just decided that it was something that I would make available to other people if they wanted to. So if you're interested, mine is for sale.
Very nice.
And so, but it is interesting how that happens. I'm definitely keeping my, might sound weird, but I'm definitely keeping my Brain Vomit that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Their floor has definitely stayed strong, but I really like the one that I have, and I like the community. They're a very supportive community. Mm-hmm. And it's always fun to see how they're doing different things. And I do think that they're doing tie-dye T-shirts for all their holders soon. So.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So a fun little addition there.
Yeah.
And then my next piece that I collected is a photographer that I've been aware of for quite a while. He's a member of MetaJungle, but he goes by the Balded Photographer. And he has a collection. He does a lot of different type of photography, but during lockdown, with being being quarantined and us being encouraged to be inside, he kind of developed this technique where he uses dyes with water and creates these amazing water droplets and photographs them. Yeah. And they are really, really beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it caught my attention with his first collection. And the collection itself is called Splash of Color. And his first collection was 20 pieces, and they sold out really quickly. And so he released a second collection, which is awesome when artists do this. If you're wondering how you should curate your collection, this is really cool because now he has his first collection completely sold out, 20 pieces sold. The floor price in his first collection is 2 ETH. And now he has his second collection sold out. There aren't any in this collection available on the secondary quite yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time. But he actually had posted in the general chat in MetaJungle that he had sold all but one piece. And I thought, oh crap, this is a collection I want to get into. So I actually went over and I ended up buying the last one of the collection. But something that really connected with me was the description that he included, because when you see these images, you don't really think about maybe what the artist had in mind whenever, and with this collection especially, he put quotes with it, but it was the description he put with this piece was, hope has a cost, hope is not comfortable or easy, hope requires personal risk. It is not about the right attitude, hope is not about the peace of mind, hope is an action, hope is doing something. The more futile, the more useless, the more irrelevant and incomprehensible an act of rebellion is, the vaster and more potent hope becomes. So I really liked the quote that he included with it. Yeah. And just a great way of, he used kind of a creative way to connect with the collector and give maybe an extra level of just meaning to the piece. And so I appreciate it a lot. It made me really like the piece a lot. But if you are an artist and you're thinking, how do I put a description in with a piece? I mean, I took the picture, you can kind of think outside of the box and add something meaningful or something that you want to share with the world to your piece. So great job, Chris. I really love this piece and happy to have gotten to collect it and looking forward to your next collection. And also something really cool that Chris, or the Balded Photographer, is doing is this collection and this series has been so popular, and he really has a mission to help other new artists coming into the space gain recognition and also have their work collected. And so with one of these splash pieces, he's actually created one that is a 1 of 50, and he set the price at 0.03, which is about $100 to $150. But the purpose of this is as people purchase purchase one of them, he's actually using the proceeds from this to purchase artwork from other artists, up-and-coming artists, artists that may not have any sales so far. He's also planning to help with minting costs for those that up-and-coming that might need assistance with that, help with equipment for those. So it's a cool initiative, and it's always awesome seeing artists helping other artists. So great job, Chris. That's something, too, as you're more involved with the community. There's ways that you, as an artist, can really build your community around you. And also, from my point of view as a collector, I get really excited because it makes me have more trust in that person, and it just kind of shows a commitment to the whole community at large. So.
Yeah, I love that so much. That's such a cool idea for him to use, a portion of that to... I love that. That's such a good idea. Yeah, that's really cool.
And there's also a lot of artists that have been purchasing it too because they want to participate in supporting others.
That's so cool.
And I noticed that he shared this week that one of the pieces that he recently collected was from one of the other MetaJungle artists, Russ Images of his Lampman series.
Oh, cool. That's great. I love that.
It's really fun to be involved enough to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I know you and I know you.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing great and seeing the community supporting each other. So pretty awesome. And then I also bought the collection, the Hundu. Can you help me?
Hundo Cubanos?
Yes, thank you.
I think. I don't know.
We need to work on our language skills.
Yeah.
We so do. And the artist is Evan McQuid, Bedford, and he is out of LA. And again, we talked a little bit about this already, but this is a collection of 100 pieces. Emma did such a great job of explaining kind of the background behind it. But there's some really fun poses and really unique settings, lighting, everything, and it is so cool to capture, a time in history. And one of the pieces I collected, the reason that I bought it is because of the payphone that is in the picture. Because I love having pieces that are going to be so irrelevant. Probably are somewhat already.
Yeah.
But very soon we're going to have a whole generation that don't know what a payphone is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I love having images that have that vintage relevance to them, minted onto the blockchain and forever out there.
That's really cool.
But this is a really great collection. I looked today and there are only 9 left. And this also has a lot of great collectors supporting the project. So there is still a short opportunity to jump into the collection. And the price is only 0.1. So for those of you that are looking for something interesting, this might be one to look into. But it is a great body of work, and I definitely appreciate the pieces that I have.
Yeah, very cool. Especially since, isn't Cuba closed back down now to where people can't travel there to take photos. So
I know. That's part of what I really appreciate about, being in the NFT space is because travel is so restricted for so many of us. Mm-hmm. And so being able to, kind of step into someone else's world, and whether it's a trip that they went on in a previous time or where they're living right now. I know we've heard from a lot of artists how they've had to kind of adapt to their norm. Yeah. And it's really, for being, for not traveling as much as you may want to right now, it's really cool to be able to just kind of forget about that and be transported to another space, and being able to, that's why, I do connect with the artists, and I really appreciate the descriptions because it does let you kind of take yourself to that spot.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
And even like he mentions in the description for the collection that Evan does, there's never going to be another time in Cuba like this. It was in the 2015 time period, and it was just a different time. And so capturing those moments, being able to have some sort of memory of that is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we are anxiously awaiting our book collections for
Yes,
this. And
can't wait to get that.
and also, welcome to the MetaJungle family, Evan. Glad to have you. And then the next I did with my wallet is I noticed them even last week that the women-led projects were starting to kind of have some movement and some movement in their price. In fact, I had decided that I was going to purchase another World of Women, even though their floor price is the highest of any of the women-based projects. But I have 2 so far. I use her as my PFP, but I decided that I was going to go ahead and start looking into that. So I was picking out some traits that I liked and stuff. Well, the floor started moving quick enough that I was like, And so, but when that happened, I decided I'm going to actually start watching some of these others. And I decided to actually list my Boss Beauties because I minted, she's one that I minted early on. And I decided that I've kind of been waiting to see the floor price go up, and it was at the highest it had been to date. So I actually listed her and sold her for 0.1, which was pretty
awesome.
cool.
Very cool.
And she was one that she was just a lower ranking one and one that I didn't connect with complete, at any special level. So, and that's part of, when I'm minting into a project, a lot of times or buying in early, I'll buy 3 with the idea of having one that I can hold and be able to sell and maybe recoup my investment in the project.
Very cool.
So,
that's a very, very cool idea.
so really glad that one worked out. And then the next morning, I actually woke up to messages and actually had the opportunity to buy into another photography collection that sold very quickly. This is one called Red Sails, and by a very accomplished photographer named Daniel Corden, and a beautiful, beautiful collection. There's 30 pieces in this one, and all based in a very similar setting with a beautiful boat with red sails. And it's awesome how he was able to create very unique pieces in such a similar setting, and every single image is unique, whether it be the setting of the boat or the surroundings. It's just a very gorgeous and almost cinematic feel to the whole collection.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
And this is a collection that also sold out very quickly, less than an hour from him announcing. And this, for me, was, I believe, early morning on Saturday. So kind of an unusual time.
Yeah.
But another member of MetaJungle had actually sent a message and was like, you have to, this is a great opportunity. And so and as you're kind of picking out which ones you might like, they're selling, and you go, okay, this is something to get involved with.
Yeah.
And so I actually picked up 2 pieces, and the last piece available is the one that I purchased. So this is an artist that I will be watching more. He has a huge following on Instagram, 1.8 million followers. So it's great, again, to meet these photographers and these amazing artists that will definitely have a future in NFTs. And as they're getting started, a great chance to be able to own something that otherwise you may not get to in the future.
Yep.
So thank you, Mustafa, for the heads up.
Yeah, that is really a beautiful collection. Like the stark, blue, ice water against the red sailboat is just so unique and really, really cool. Very special
piece.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yes,
congrats on that.
Thank you very much. And so, like I said, there's just these opportunities that come out of the blue.
Yep, it's crazy.
And so also continuing to watch the women-led projects and their floor prices start to creep up a little bit, I thought, Women in Weapons has such a great support, and they're so active in the community. This is probably a great opportunity to start being more involved with purchasing pieces from their collection as well. I already have several in my wallet, and I do love what the community does. Sarah's so supportive of our other artists, and she started a series that she's doing featuring good humans, and I just love the energy that she spreads and the support that she shows. So those are things that, when you can see that in a community, you feel a lot better about getting involved.
Yeah.
And their floor was just starting to move, but hadn't gotten too crazy. So I bought a really beautiful one off the floor at 0.21. And the special thing about her is I had seen someone had asked Sarah what was a special trait and about these particular pieces. And she said anything gold, but she also said that any pink weapons were special because that meant that represented breast cancer awareness for her, and that was something personally that she had a connection with.
Yes.
And so this was a beautiful one that I noticed also had pink throwing stars. So I
she's so
snagged her
cool.
up.
I love her.
And then I delved a little bit deeper into different rarity traits, and I realized that there were only 47 of the body type called Sparky, which is the blue one, and that also Sarah, the artist, that's also her nickname is Sparky, so she has a direct connection. But I bought a beautiful blue one with a great rarity ranking for 0.8. So now today I'm very happy that I made that purchase.
Yeah, and she's one of my favorite women in weapons that I've ever seen. Like, I love her. Like, the blue skin with the flower crown. And what weapons does she have again?
She has the pink nunchucks.
Oh, yes.
Because that was another deciding factor is the pink weapons.
Yep, the pink.
So
super cool.
Those are good ones. And she also has this great, brick background. And so has kind of a 60 vibe. But I am a sucker for the flower crown.
Me too.
She's my second one with that. And I really like that feature a lot.
Really, really cute. I love it.
So I'll be holding on to her for quite a while.
Nice.
And then I also had the opportunity to pick up a photo by another amazing photographer. This is Sarah Lyndsey, and she's also in our MetaJungle community. But mid last week, she dropped a collection called Dear Dreamer, and these are all pieces with beautiful environments. Typically, they're all set in an outdoor landscape, but then she is in a colored dress, and so different colors and different settings, and her kind of signature is her yellow dress.
Okay.
And the image itself is so beautiful, but then it adds a whole nother level with her there in the setting. Absolutely gorgeous. Her first collection included 5 pieces, and they sold out the day that she dropped the collection. Also, several notable artists that I've kind of started following also were purchasers, and so that's always a good sign. When there's other artists that are wanting to support that artist, that's a really good thing. That first collection has a floor price of 1.5 now.
Wow.
So totally sold out. And then she actually got a little bit of info that she was dropping a second collection this week, and it's called Dear Dreamer 2. This one has 6 pieces in the collection, but kind of continues the series. And so I purchased Salt, which was actually taken in the Badwater Basin in Death Valley National Park, and it features her purple dress. And the story with the collection is really, really powerful and beautiful, but the background, she shares a lot of personal details about, coming from an abusive background, and how she's kind of come through that. And I love that she said, even though I'm a grown woman, these images represent that little girl who had many dreams of escaping a beautiful place in a beautiful dress.
Wow. That's really, really special. And those photographs are stunning, like stunning.
Really
I love them so much. Yeah.
And you can see her passion for what she does shine through in
them. Absolutely. Yeah. Very, very cool that you got. So you got one from her first collection and one from the second?
I actually missed her first collection. It sold out so quickly, I did not have the opportunity. And so when I saw that she was dropping a second collection, I definitely jumped in. I got one from this one.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be watching. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. Alpha Trilogy collected 2.
Oh, that's right. Yes. That's who I'm thinking of, I guess. Yeah.
And he got the signature yellow dress from this collection, so I'll be watching for the next one. He got 2 beautiful pieces.
Very cool.
And so there are 3 pieces left in this Dreamer 2 collection from Sarah Lyndsey. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely check it out, because I'm sure that those will not be available for long. And then I also had the opportunity to buy another artist. This is an artist who is new to the MetaJungle community and someone that I recently became familiar with. But he's a Turkish photographer, and the collection is really unique. It's called Venice Carnival People, and I picked up number 7, which is titled There Is Always Death. And this one was a little bit different than some of the other images in the collection, but the different characters in the collection, they all have their carnival masks on, and they're set in Venice, so it has just a very theatrical theme to it, which fits. The artist is Onur, Cabi, and he actually has a cinematography background.
Oh, interesting.
And he grew up with he was raised by his grandfather and grew up with him, who was a photographer in the 70s.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
So it's awesome to kind of learn some different things about the different artists. But this piece is very beautiful, and the collection is sold out. There were 10 pieces in this particular collection, and they were only 0.05, so find it very very fortunate that I had the opportunity, because he is very talented, and he actually, I think, is going to be dropping more of another collection of these, so there'll be ones to watch out for as well.
Yeah, I will definitely be watching out for that, because I'm definitely jealous of your, I love kind of the spooky, vibes of it. I just think it's really cool and different than a lot of what you see, so yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching out for that.
It has a really strong vibe to it.
Yes, totally.
And then I actually decided that with Boss Beauties, with selling a Boss Beauty, I would purchase one that I really liked the aesthetic of and the features of. So, once a project mints, then I kind of start watching some of the things about it that I like and find things that I identify with. And so I picked up one yesterday that has a pink fedora, and she has the stylist outfit on.
Cute!
So, and she's got her brown glasses. She just has attitude and sass, and I think she's really cute. So.
Awesome. That's super exciting.
So she's added to my collection, and she also has the Titanic heart necklace, which is a really rare one.
Oh, very cool.
That was a rare trait. So those were the reasons that I picked her out. Mm-hmm. And Boss Beauties they're waiting to make a big announcement, so we'll be watching and see what comes next from them.
I'm interested to see what they're announcing.
I know, me too. Me too. And I actually this morning with Alpha Girls Club, you mentioned that that's one of the first ones you minted.
Yep.
And we know that the mint took a little while, took several weeks to fully sell out. And so during that time, the floor price was lower than the mint price. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of opportunities, for that trading and selling. I actually purchased one in the pre-mint off the secondary, and I minted 4. So I had a good grouping. And so today when they sold out, their floor price went from 0.03 to 0.18.
Oh, wow.
0.182. Yes, they really took off.
That's awesome.
And so I took that opportunity and I sold my least rare one.
Oh, very cool. There you go.
So, those opportunities when you buy in, you may be holding for a little while, but just that is part of, the game and kind of part of the fun, but also part of just not knowing as you just make those decisions along the way. But again, when I mint into a project or buy early into a generative project, that thought of buying multiples so you can sell them along the way and recoup your cost, and then you're actually able to maintain some without there being cost into the project is my kind of approach. So
that is very smart
to be able to do that.
Yeah, I like that approach.
And oftentimes, as we've seen, even if they are on the rise, there's typically that dip again to be able, if you sell out, you can purchase back in at a later point, so you can take your profits and buy back in. So this has been, the last few days has been the craziest time in women-led projects.
Yeah.
And I know that's something we both follow a lot.
Totally.
Jaden follows a lot. That is something that is really something we talk a lot about on the show. But some exciting stuff. World of Women hit an all-time high. Yesterday, their floor was 8 ETH. And right now, at the time of airing this show, it's 7.33, which is still super strong.
That's so crazy.
So there's definitely been the mad rush. We've seen celebrities coming in. Eva Longoria was announced over the weekend as coming into the project. There's been the tease of another celebrity, possibly Gaga, coming in.
That'd be cool. That'd be so cool.
It would be really cool. Reese has made a few announcements and been alluding to coming into the metaverse and being into a digital space. So definitely some movement in that direction. But I think the big thing that fueled this uptick for World of Women is they signed with a big agency, and they're being represented by the same group as Bored Ape Yacht Club and also Madonna. So it could also be Madonna.
Whoa.
So we will see. But making some big moves. I've held both of my WOWs, and I plan to for the long term. But there's been lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people buying in, which is really awesome. The community, I think, has done a good job of using the last few months. They actually minted the end of July, which I was thinking that they had minted earlier than that, but they actually minted the end of July. And I think they've been doing a great job of building their community and their resources to be able to support, because this is a big next step.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting to see how that continues and what that really means. But big moves there. I noticed one last night, which it was a rarity 21, but it sold for 69.69 ETH.
What?
I mean, that is pretty crazy. I mean, that's like buying a Bored Ape.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Wow.
And all of the lady projects are on a tear. We kind of alluded to the fact that Boss Beauties has been teasing an announcement. We checked before we started the show, and they haven't really shared a lot yet, but I'm sure it's something great. The last time they did this, they announced that they had a partnership with Marvel, and they are kind of moving in that corporate direction. And they had mentioned in December working on different projects with different large corporate companies, like doing different branding deals with Target and doing merchandise. So it'll be interesting to see where that's going. Women in Weapons, their floor today at the time of airing and Boss Beauties, their floor right now is at 0.089. So that's pretty exciting. Yep. Highest it's been. Maybe I should have held it. But like Alpha says, profits are profits.
Yeah,
Don't ever regret taking profit.
That's right.
And so Women in Weapons, they are also on a move. They did a rebranding over the weekend. That was actually the catalyst for me to decide, hey, there's something more going on here. Yeah. I noticed that they changed their branding and I was like, these guys are going to be making some moves. So, and I still think, there could be great opportunities to buy into the project. Their floor is at 0.54, and they are still moving and shaking and been working really hard. They do have their second drop that they have coming up, so definitely one worth watching. Long Neckie Ladies is a project that I bought into early on. They definitely are get a lot of attention in the space with Nyla being a 12-year-old artist. Yes. She's been very involved with timepieces, and she has a great foundation behind her, but they are kind of branching off and rebranding for this year, and their floor is at 0.269. Flower Girls NFT, they've been announcing with their pollination series, and their floor has actually taken a couple of runs. I mentioned I sold one this weekend when the floor got up to 0.14, and today their floor is at 0.85, so really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I listened to a Twitter space the other night, and their pollination process is going to be so interesting.
Is it 0.185?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
0.85, and I was like, whoa. I was thinking about buying one of those, but not if it's at 0.85.
So true. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
0.185.
Yes.
So that can make a big difference.
Yeah. I actually really want to. That's one of the projects I really want to get into. So yeah.
Well, and it's one I minted 3 of them in the beginning, and I wish now I would have minted 5. That was the limit, and I actually tried to mint 2 more after I minted the 3, but they sold out too quickly.
Oh, right.
But they have such an interesting backing behind them, and they do have a new series coming out after this. But the seeds and the process, I'm still kind of learning all those details, and just kind of have faith it's all going to work out.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to learn about it before I get into the project, but it is kind of hard to follow everything that's happening. But I know it's going to be epic. Whatever's happening with the seeds and pollination and all that, it's going to be awesome. So.
Well, and their team has resources that can teach you these things. The Twitter space was, the passion and excitement and enthusiasm that the team has for the project is contagious. So really fun listening to them. One little detail I learned from that process is with the holiday airdrops that they did, if you actually collect all of them, that is going to give you more advantage in this whole next phase with having seeds. So the flower girls that have fairies with them are going to have special weight in the seed process, and they are thinking that if you're collecting all of the holiday series, it will have a similar weighting. But there's only 100. Only 120 fairies are out there.
Yeah,
so
not very many. Yeah.
And they believe they'll be doing another drop for Valentine's Day, which will be similar formatted, and that too will be a collectible if you have all of them, if you collect and trade. So that's something, if that's something you don't want to participate in, you may have the opportunity to trade or sell yours. And if that is something that you're interested in, it might be a chance to pick one up. So there's lots of fun little details, but that is a very involved community as well.
Definitely.
And so we'll look to see what's happening with Fame Ladies. They celebrated their 6-month anniversary yesterday.
That is so exciting.
So, and it feels like that's happened, so long ago, but 6 months is a long time in the NFT space.
Yeah. A day is a long time in the NFT space.
Things move so fast.
Yeah. That's really exciting, though.
And they too rebranded and shared a new brand that has the lips and the FLS. And I know I'm sure they have lots of exciting things coming for the upcoming year. And we all know that that's a project that had started off as was supposed to be the first female PFP project, and then found out that it wasn't women behind it. So they've really been making that push to kind of regrow and rebrand and really come about. So they're making strides and still doing good. Sad Girls Bar, they've been up to date too. Yeah. And so their floor is at 0.105 and making a push. They've actually had a promotion where late last week they actually dropped the price of the cats.
Yep.
So they, to kind of prompt some minting and open up that opportunity, if you hold a sad girl, you could mint a cat for 0.025. And they had planned that to just be like a 2-day window, but I did see where they're extending that for a week because gas has just been so insane.
Yeah, I think the latest I saw was a tweet today that said they were extending it to January 16th, I think is what I saw. Exciting. So I think I might jump on that because, you can never have enough sad cats, And I really, really want a Maine Coon still. I really want one of the Maine Coons. So, I might be minting one of those today. I don't know.
Well, and as we mentioned with Alpha Girl Club, they finished their mint, and it's awesome to see a project finish their mint and have their floor jump so quickly. So 0.18 at the time of filming the show. That's definitely been the highest. Their mint price was 0.08. And so with selling mine today, I made 0.1.
Very good.
But there's also some rare ones out there and available. So this kind of reshuffling time and excitement is really a fun time to see what all the traits are available, because also they did kind of a gradual release of some of the traits. So they kind of bunched it and they released their traits in different bunches. So anyway, this is kind of the first time that we're seeing all of them minted at the same time.
Right.
And all shown at the same time. So pretty exciting. And we also mentioned that Rebel Society is another one that and they started their mint in late October.
Yeah.
So it kind of shows that there's just been so much coming on the market.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to kind of learn what the catalyst to sell out so quickly has been. They originally were also 0.08, and then I believe in late December changed their mint price to 0.02. And it's fun to see. I think they've had some organic growth, and I've seen several people that are active in the space changing their PFP to a Rebel Society.
Yeah.
And I'm asking myself too, why did I not mint one? Because I plan to. So we may have to do some shopping and pick one out.
I would love to. I love mine, but I really want to find one that really fits me. So I think I want to do some shopping as well.
Okay. Well, and that's something that, for me with investing, with, whether it be stocks or crypto, that has a fun element to it. I mean, you put your money, you watch it, But for NFTs, it's kind of yet even another step. And something that I kind of personally think a reason why women will be really good in the NFT space, but also very active, is because it's so community based, but then you're not just investing, this set amount of money. You're actually, purchasing something that has visually represented. I mean, it has so many other elements to it as well. But whether it's a generative project or whether you're purchasing art, and then having the ability for that to be something that you're able to hold or sell at another time to be able to possibly increase what you invested. That's a pretty fun aspect of it all.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Yeah. It's like you're investing and you're getting to shop for something that you love. It's pretty cool.
And it gets addictive at Tuesday when you're collecting from people that you want to support and that you really like. It's just,
oh my gosh,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
When we've mentioned several times throughout the show today about different rarity and different traits and things like that. And so, as you get into the collecting a little bit deeper, from minting, being able to understand how to do rarity and read rarity is something that can help you be a more savvy collector.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's something that we may delve a little bit deeper into.
Yeah. I'm really excited because I want to figure out the rarity of some of the ones I already have, but also pick out some new ones based on rarity and based on traits. And you said there's a tool for that, right?
There is, yes, there is. And so a lot of rarity tools is kind of is the one that is kind of generally accepted.
Okay.
And we can also look at some tools that are available right after a mint or during a mint that can kind of give you an idea of what your ranking would be. And then also, because not only does it give you a good opportunity when you're buying a piece, but it also might help you pick out pieces that you want to sell. So being able to make good decisions as the price is going up and the price is going down, and also really learning about some traits that you might, we talked about connect with and times in which it might be a good decision to purchase that, or that you may have another opportunity. So.
Right. So I guess we're going to be doing that for the next episode. Is that correct?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So we'll keep this one relatively short and sweet. And we hope you guys join us for the next episode where we're going to be delving more into how to use rarity tools and how to determine those features on particular projects, because this is a really fun and exciting time to be able to explore some of those projects. And so we hope you guys join us. We definitely appreciate you guys being along for the ride with us, and we look forward to next time.
Yep. Nice being with you guys today. We'll see ya.